Got some dollars in my pocket and I really wanna spend them on you. Not the wealthiest, but all I make it all and spend it on you. That'd be a date for the night, be my plate, make tonight come through and trip. Take it slow, although I'm ready for more. All my cards are on the table and I'm putting all my money on you. So kiss me, don't you stop on this.
Hey Naya, hey Liz. Fix the chat real quick. All right, something wrong with the chat.
I am giving all to you in vain, but I guess I had a couple
everyone. Hey, I was trying to hurry up and put together some gifts, and this is what popped up. I put a lot of work into them gifts, but that's all they are. Just little video clips to get you ready for what we get ready to talk about. The driver asked us to talk about tithing. Before we start, as y'all can see, the lanyard holders here, they're here. I'm not happy about the holders. I think we can do better than this. If we sticking with the black and gold, I still think we need to get 2 chains. Or 3 because the other card is coming. I just got notified by the company that's sending the cards. They say that they're shipping today. So hopefully the 3rd badge and the cards come at the same time next week. So that's something to look forward to. But like I said, for $4, it's not bad. I don't know where the 3rd one gonna go though. Don't look like there's much room left in the screen for the 3rd one. But we'll figure it out. He said South Park is not a good look. Well, like I said, in these days of heathens, it's hard to find anything religious. Speaking of heathens, I actually was going to come on this morning. Do y'all know that Tammy Sotomayor spent the day touching on a topic that I tried to get him to do back in January of 2018. But because we've been hitting it off and on, I guess somebody sent him a clip, or he watched us, and he did 2 back-to-back videos. But as usual, he was off the mark. He tried to use women should be getting their career together instead of having babies. No, young women should be trying to get a husband. Then worry about a career, and then worry about a baby. So as usually, was somebody sending them clips, because it's amazing how our content wind up on his screen. This is amazing how our content winds up on his screen. I can show you a clip from 2018. And then go watch his last 2 videos. And you tell me and this is my video is. The single most destructive force in the black communities is single mothers. I've been said that. Not that cruelly. This is January the 5th, 2018. And it's a review of a video that I did 3 months earlier.
Alright. Good morning, fam. This is Brother Derrick, and I'm back with another video. Now, usually, I freestyle. Because the knowledge comes out of me. But I got a detailed agenda here to this video. These are the requisites. And I said this 3 months ago, and nobody watched the video, so I'm not repeating or rehashing anything. Y'all didn't watch the video. So, here are the 7 things that we need to do before we can start implementing my plans. First step, we need a name. Black is a negative word. Black Friday, Black Cat, Black Death. Why are we allowing the white folks to call us black? They've already mentally, around the world, established us as inferior, as evil. So let's change that, okay? Let's change that right there. African American is a problem. If you ask anybody African, they will tell you, you ain't African. They're going to tell you, you an American. You don't belong to the Nwabe tribe, you're not Nigerian, you're not Algerian, whatever. They're going to tell you, you ain't African. So, why are we trying to hang on to something to people that don't want us? That's another problem with us. We want to be loved by everybody. We want to be accepted by everybody. The way you get accepted is to have your own. When you have your own and you can stand on your own 2 feet, people want to come follow you. But as long as you keep BSing and keep sucking up like a parasite and wait for somebody to give you something, you won't get no respect. That's why the Africans don't respect us. Now, I came up with a couple names. Now, me personally, I like Afro-American or Melanoid American. What do you think? If you have any ideas of what we can call ourselves other than black, we can stop being a black mark on the world. We come in all shades and sizes. I've very seldom seen anybody that actually is black. Now, I've seen some pale white people, but I've never seen anybody that's pitch black, like dark. You can't even see in the light. No, never seen that. And I don't understand why we talk about it. So we all come in different shades and sizes. I can never understand that why somebody will say something stupid like, black women have the best butts in the world. No, they don't. I've seen plenty of them, butts look nasty. Who came up with that? Who said black women got the best bodies in the world? Some of them do. But some white people do, and some Chinese do. I mean, it's different. Nobody the same. Some people have good genetics, and some people don't. Let's keep it real. In the old days, somebody ugly married somebody ugly. Somebody good looking married somebody good looking. It wasn't that people started making money and said, hey, I could buy me a pretty woman. But guess what? The children still gonna come out looking ugly. So, it is what it is. Sometimes they come out looking good. You never know. But normally, somebody fat used to be with somebody fat. Now a fat black woman will take a lazy, slovenly bum that's skinny. That's what she said, she got skinny man. Hey, it is what it is. I'm not here to talk about that. If that's your personal preference. If that's what you want to do, then do it. But like I said, we need a name. I personally like Afro-American or Melanoid American or Melanated American.
Are you serious?
Okay, so
Yeah, there's a commercial on it. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? You freaking serious?
Shows the melanin in our skin, shows the dominance, as the pro-blacks would say. Then why not use it? If you're so proud of the melanin in our skin, then why not use it in your name? Makes sense. Anyway, on to number 2. We gotta help the black woman remember who she is. I'm so tired of hearing them say they're independent. How you independent? The man give you a check, the man give you a house, the man give you benefits. Where you independent at? The man put you in charge of the children? Even in child support? The man got to pay the money and he don't have no say. So, how are you independent? A lot of y'all young girls see pregnancy as a career. You want to have 3, 4, 5 kids? Don't matter who the father is. Can't get child support out of them. You don't get a check from the government. You don't get the check. You don't get the house. You don't get the benefits. Right? We got to change that. The black woman sold us out. Black women, you sold your men out. You sold your kids out. You sentenced them to this. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. And you can't deny it. So how are we going to fix it? Because I can tell you right now, every person that says, well, black men out here selling drugs. Well, the black men didn't have to pick the drugs up and sell them. Black people didn't have to use them. The white man offered you a trinket and you took it. He offered you what I just said, the check, house, and the benefits. You left your black man and you took it. Put the black man out the house. Divide and conquer. The white man know that you too unstable, that you too emotional to raise healthy children. He knows it. That's why there is so much homosexual things in movies, in music, on the airwaves. They trying to feminize the black man. Trying to make the woman the boss and the man a sniveling coward. And it's working. And then it had unexpected benefits. By the women, you like your father. You just as sorry as your father is. You totally useless. It make the men not even want to be men. Why would you want to be a man? You grow up hearing about how sorry he is. Why would you want to grow into be that sorry man? That makes you not respect your fellow man. That makes you think that all men are suckers. That makes you think that all men mean to do you harm. So, why would you not have a problem with swindling them? Why would you not have a problem with killing them? You being taught from the cradle that the black man ain't shit, and you being taught by your mother. You are being taught by your mother. And if no other man comes into your life and intervenes, you will grow up thinking that. You will grow up thinking that. And that's what's bad about the black community. The kids come out the womb scarred. They come out the womb messed up. That's crazy. So, we need to get our women online. They need to get rid of the weave. Stop trying to look like other women. Because I can tell you right now, if I want a woman with long blonde hair, I'm going to get a woman with long blonde hair. I don't want no fake woman. I don't like to watch you take that hair off and put it back on and pay exorbitant amount of money for you to look like somebody I want. No, I want somebody I want. Let's keep it real. I don't understand why they do that. To me, it's retarded. I wouldn't walk around with a rug on my hair. Yeah, I'm balding at the top. I just keep it low. There you go. Doesn't cost any money. You get a razor blade, keep it low. I'm not going to spend $10 million a year to hide a spot. But y'all will sit there and cover your own hair up and put somebody else's nasty hair on. That's nasty. Why would you want to wear somebody else's hair? Especially people that don't have hair like us. When their hair get wet, it stinks. Ain't you noticed certain people smell different when they get wet? That's nasty. I'm keeping it real. I'm telling the truth. That was number 2. We need to get our women in line. We need to get them back into the fold. Tell a white man to take that crap and shove it down the throat. Take his raggedy project house. Take his little check that he can't even live on. And shove it down their throat. Now, number 3. The man needs to take his place at the top. And what I mean by that is, there is no civilization that has survived with the women at the head. Can anybody name one in the comments? And don't tell me about them imaginary Amazons. Tell me a nation today that has started and has survived and has thrived and has been successful with women leading it. I'm listening. I'm listening. And anybody? I'll wait. I ain't gotta wait, because there ain't none. So, black men need to take their place. The women that put us out, we need to take our place. First thing we need to do is start getting rid of these judges. That's giving the women the power in the child support department. Number 2, we need to start being in our child's lives, whether we like the mother or not. You like her enough to lay up with her, deal with her, so you can see your children and make sure that they're getting some good knowledge. You have to counter the crap she telling them. You have to counter them with your stuff. So that can be a balance. Right now we got an imbalance. We need a balance. Be in your children's life. Do something. I'm serious. It doesn't take much. It's not easy. But you laid down with that woman. You made the children with her. You know what you were going to do, and you still went and laid with it anyway. Get this idea out your head. White men, Chinese men, Japanese men in general, they chase power. But women are raising these boys to chase pussy. What bill has pussy ever paid? Unless you're a prostitute. I'm talking about us men. We're on the men right now. What bill has pussy paid? Until you guys is laying up with a woman and her kids playing Xbox all day, playing PlayStation all day, living up off her benefits, or sitting home and reaping the benefits of the job the welfare made her get, you just as bad as they are. If you don't care about kids, they're not yours. You really don't care about her. You just looking to be a parasite. You sucked off your mother. She held you under her titty, and then you done found a woman to be up under her titty. Grow up, man. Take your place. You're supposed to be the leaders. We need to get up and take our spot back from the black woman so we can get respect from our children, so we can get respect from the rest of the world. Right now, we're a joke. We are literally a joke. And I'm dead serious. Get on to the next thing. We need a religion. We got way too many religions. We need all the scholars to get together and pick one stinking religion. You got too many religions. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you got 5 divisions. If you're a Catholic, you got Roman, you got Orthodox. If they're all black Jews, You got traditional, you got Orthodox. Protestant, Mormon, Lutheran, Baptist. Look at all these damn names. Pentecostal. All these different names of religion. All these different branches. Only one of them can be real. So, we need to pick our heads together and pick one religion and stick to it. Because if you notice, most successful races have one religion. And they all on par with it. Whether they be traditional or Orthodox, it's still one religion. Take the Jews, for example. Take the Amish, for example. Really? So we need one religion.
Crap, no commercial.
One religion that we can all get behind, uniformly. Number 6. This is directed toward the women, but it's directed toward our young men too. No children out of wedlock. If a man will not marry you, do not have a child. It's not brain surgery. If a man will not marry you, do not have a child. If you are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, your mind should be on your education and trying to find a way to get to college. It should not be on fucking. Let's keep it real. I'm not going to bullshit you. Women, do not have children till you marry. If a man won't marry you, don't give him a child. You're worth more than that. You sell yourself short. You say that black men have self-hate. No, black women have self-hate. And I'm not bashing you. I'm telling you the truth. Keep your legs closed. But if you got the hot pants and you got to, get some birth control. Get on the pill. Make the man wear a condom. If he want to get in you that bad, he'll wear a condom. Dead serious. If you don't respect yourself, how you expect men to respect you? If you won't respect yourself, black woman. All right, last one. Every black death needs to be an outrage. It needs to be a march. Every black death. Every black death in America, there needs to be an outrage. There needs to be a march. Not just because somebody white did it or because a cop did it. Anytime a black person is murdered, we should be out in droves. If you know who did it, turn their asses in. I'm so tired of snitches getting stitches. Snitches need to get riches. We need to protect them, put them away, and let them get the trash off our street. And if I'm lying, somebody tell me. Oh, but they might retaliate. I say it again. If you got a neighborhood with 1,000 residents and you got 50 ruffians running the neighborhood, what's wrong with that picture? Why don't the residents drive out the ruffians? You know who they are. You can drive them out most of the time without violence. They will try you to see if you're serious, but I say it again, I don't care if it's 30 of them in the gang. If it's 400 of y'all in that neighborhood, 500, 600, what the heck is 30 men gonna do? Y'all come out there with bats, pots and pans, table legs. It don't matter what they got. They ain't got enough bullets to shoot all of you. Eventually, you're gonna beat them down and kill them. But we don't think that way. We only think about ourselves. And that's the problem. We don't come together. I don't even bother with you. I don't even fool with you. We don't think about ourselves. We only think of ourselves. We only think of ourselves. I'm trying to do it again. Stop thinking of yourself. Think of your fellow man. Because whether you want to admit it or not, your fellow man determines how you are. If every time you walk out the door, your fellow man is waiting to harass you with something, he's affecting your life. And sooner or later, you're going to have to do something to him. So, if we can learn how to get along, get the men back in the houses. Stop letting the women allow the men to lay around and play Xbox all day. Because they feel they can't get a man. You should have thought about that before you had them kids. Stop it. If we can do these 7 things, we can get on to my plan. And I'm going to be giving you a part of my plan. I want to see how y'all like it. See if anybody can take it and improve on it. Anybody can close any gaps I might have. But I told you these are the requisites. Like I said, my name is Brother Derrick. Please like and subscribe so I can get this message out to other people. People need to hear this. Stop worrying about how I look. Stop worrying about my background. Stop worrying about the headset on my head. Let's get this information out. It don't matter who bring it. Messenger is a messenger. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Now, some of y'all might have found that offensive, and I apologize, but it's the truth. That's the way that I came in here swinging. And I went to Tammy Sotomayor and hit him up and asked him, could he do shows on this? Could he put this information on his platform? And his response was to go in Victor Moan's chat and talk about how goofy I look, how messed up my teeth was, and that I wasn't going to get anywhere. But now, a year later, you're trying to use my talking points that I gave to you over a year ago. I'm sorry, that was 2 years ago. That was January 6th of 2018. Today is January 24th of 2019. 2020. So that's over 2 years. So the information wasn't good enough back then, 2 years ago. But now you ain't got no content. Now you want to use the information. If you got women out there that's more concerned about putting a weave on their head lids than they are about putting food on the table for their kids, that's a problem. You got women shoplifting so they can go put that mess on their head. That's a problem. And instead of turning your head and saying, well, that's what they want to do, we should be trying to educate these ladies and teach them their self-worth. Why is it that they'll come outside with anything, even a daggone shopping bag on their head? They'll wear a skunk on their head rather than let you see the natural hair that God gave them. There's something mentally wrong with that. Stop trying to push it under the rug. Now, if you want to debate, then we can go. If you want to debate that issue, but you're going to lose. I'm tired of sitting here and hearing these pro-blacks, young Pharaoh and Brother Polite and all this. The woman is God, but she ashamed of the hair that God gave her. Explain that. I'm listening. If her hair is different than everybody else's, that explains that she's singled out for a reason. But they don't see it as being empowering. They see it as being belittling. If God made your hair different, that means you are higher, not lower. Because the Japanese women had the same, the Mexican women had the same, the European people the same, the Chinese people are the same, but their hair is different. And rather than saying it's different because God set it aside and made it different, we are the first women. And be empowered by that. Instead, you ashamed of it. You'd rather have a gunny sack on your head than the hair that God gave you. There's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. Now, like I said, he copied what we've been saying over the past 3 weeks. About how the young girls are looking for anybody to knock them up so they don't have to work. But we've been pushing getting married. And having a child. But this man took what we said and said, get a career, then have a child. A gunny sack is, you remember that old sack they used to put potatoes in? And remember when somebody was homeless back in the 20s and they ain't had nothing to wear and they would wear a gunny sack? All you had to do was go behind the store and grab some because they used them to hold the potatoes and the vegetables. A burlap sack. Maybe that's another word for it. I think if it was a fire and the woman couldn't find a weave or wig, I think she put the dog on her head and come out the house. You can't see my hair. I'm very funny up there, serious. But in those things that I outlined, anybody have an issue with any of the things that I said? So you think it's okay to put somebody else's DNA on your head? Because you're ashamed of the hair you have. Now, if you got cancer and your hair fell out and you went and got a wig, that's fine. But I know when I was growing up, the girls had a plait, 2 plaits in the front with a bow rack, and a plait in the back with a bow rack. Now I'm seeing these young girls walk around with hair down to the daggone waist. We on a big channel. Let me see if I can copy that link. Hold on a sec. Let me copy that link and let me send it to the phone. Paste that link. Weave is possessed and cursed. If it's causing them to lose their edges and making their hair fall out, how is it protecting their hair? Oops. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull this up. Got a commercial. Is weed possessed? Right. She got 7,000 views. It's something wrong with our people. It's something wrong with our people. And I keep fighting. And I'm losing. I keep fighting. So far, we losing. We ain't made not one dent, not one impact. Liz, you keep trying to defend that. Do we have to go back to the floods and the hurricanes where the women was actually out there in the water, 5 foot deep? They out there robbing the daggone weave stores. They should have been looking for clean water and food. They out there worrying about the weed. You're gonna have a hard time with that one, dear. So let's agree to disagree. Were there any other points that I made? I had 7 points that I made in that video. Does anybody have a problem with any of the other 6? Didn't say it was all women. But it's all over the world. They do it in Africa. They do it in Jamaica. They do it in the Virgin Islands. Now, I had made a video after that. Come on, come on. We gotta go way back. There's still more? Here we go. And y'all can see, I made 3 videos in the same day and stuck that one in between. You notice 35, 32, 60. But first video on True Freeman and Sunshine, 1700. That shows you.
Huh? I'm asking.
All right.
I can go all day. Because I'm preaching the truth. When you preach the truth, it just come out you. You ain't got to make up nothing. You ain't got to cover your tracks. You just tell the truth. And that's what I do. So, you ready? Let's get to it. This is a part of the plan that I came up with for us black people. And I want you to know that it was given to me by the man upstairs. It didn't come from me. It came from him. You ready? Get to know your neighbor. I made videos about this. Get to know your neighbor. Literally, go outside and get to know your neighbors. Get to know the people in your neighborhood. Get to know the people at the store you go to. Get to know your co-workers. That's basic. In order for us to come together, we have to actually come together. Does that make sense? We literally have to know who we're dealing with. I'm not going to invest anything in you if I don't know who the hell you are. I don't know what you're doing. How am I going to ask the athletes to come back into the city and ask the celebrities to come bring their money back when they left us and say, hey, heck with y'all? How am I going to convince them to come back if I don't know who I'm telling them to come back to? So, number 1, get to know your neighbors. That's probably the most important thing. Get to know your neighbors. 2, drop the I don't want to be bothered. And you know what I'm talking about. When somebody come to you, I don't want to be bothered. You know I'm telling the truth? This is something that happens in the black community all the time. You see somebody in trouble, you see somebody that might need some information, and you don't want to be bothered. You want to run your house and close the door. Stop it. How's somebody going to trust you when they need you, you're never there? Let's keep it real. I understand somebody might be chronic needing you. I can understand that. But somebody say, hey, ma'am, how I get down the street? And I've asked somebody for directions and got blown off. Dead serious. Hey, don't you got Google? No Google Maps. You asking me for? Leave me alone. Why you bothering me? That attitude's got to go. We'll get to that. Stop arguing over religion. There are so many religions. I covered that in the last video. There are so many religions, and we keep arguing over which one is right. Just pick one, so we can get together and get the more serious issues. It's a distraction. It's a major distraction. We arguing over a religion. We don't know which religion is the right one. Just pick one and ride with it. Deal with it on Judgment Day. You made the mistake. The law scrolls say that you still get a chance to repent. So, just pick one religion. Let's all fall behind it. So we can improve our community, and we can improve our relationships with each other. So pick one religion. That's very important. 4, create a relationship with like-minded blacks and combine your money to build businesses. Think about what I said. Create a relationship with black people like yourself, people who you get along with. Not the ratchets, not the addicts, not the trash. Make a relationship so that you trust each other, so that y'all can pool your money. We have $126 billion in this country. It's spread out. We need to pool it together so that we can create our own businesses. Now everybody say, yeah, we need our own businesses. Well, they never tell you how, because they don't want you to. They never tell you how. They tell you you ought to. They don't tell you how. They tell you you ought to come together. They never tell you how, because they don't want you to come together. They want you to stay in that same spot. I just blew the whole game open right there and gave it to you for free. Get together with black people that think like you, that act like you, that are interested in the same things as you. Learn them. Trust them. Have a relationship. And y'all come together. Then pool your money and start businesses. Why that's so hard to understand? I can understand you saying, well, I don't want to do nothing with Jordan on the block. Find like-minded black people that you come to know and trust, that you know gonna ride with you. Take your money, combine it, create businesses. Now, not only create businesses, let me tell you the secret here. The one thing, God told me this personally. Said to make sure I tell y'all this. This is the gospel right here. They tell you to make businesses. What kind of businesses? They tell you to make businesses where you sell somebody else's stuff. They tell you to make businesses where you sell somebody else's stuff. Or they tell you to sell t-shirts and hats. They don't tell you to make anything. Name one black person that has told y'all to go make something. Not just open up a business and sell other people's shit. Who's told you to go make something?
Yeah, on commercial.
Who has told you to go make something? Nobody. Because the white man don't want you to. That's his hold on you. We don't make nothing. Stuff comes from over China. Why are we not making it ourselves? Why are we letting shit come over from China? Everything made in China, made in China, made in China, made in China. Why are we not making it? You just say made in America, made in Black America, made in Afro America, made in melanated America. Why everything made in China, made in Japan, made in Mexico? Why are we not manufacturing our own products? There was a black woman back in the 30s. Damn, my name keep escaping me. But she was the first black millionaire. She invented the hot comb. So women been worried about that ever since back then. So this weed thing ain't nothing new. It's just crazy, but nothing new. She sold the business, and now white people manufacture the hot comb. Why don't we manufacture a hot comb? How many black barbershops do we have in this country? Those barbers need chairs. They need razors. They need clippers. They need mirrors. How many black folk make those products? None. None. And you know what? White folk don't want you to. They don't want you to. Back in the 80s, they had the jelly curl. That was the thing back then. How many black folk make jelly curls? For those that still wear them. For those that still wear the jelly curl, how many black people manufacture the perm, supposed to keep your hair straight? You know, the perk. White folk used to say make your hair stay one way all day. We don't make any of that. We don't. Every woman to the age of 40-something need tampons. Do we make tampons? No. Every woman needs tampons. Everybody needs toilet paper to wipe your butt. Do we make any? No. We don't make nothing. I have a vision of being able to walk outside and seeing everything black. Everything black. Black owned. Black manufactured. That'll be the completion. We need to manufacture our own goods. Like I say, Brother Polite and that New Nation, whatever he was doing, was really silly. It's useless. I keep saying it. You go over to Pennsylvania out there in the woods and we don't make nothing. How are we going to survive? We don't even make our own toilet paper. What, we use leaves? What is it now we wipe our butts with? Huh? Huh? I'm asking. We don't produce nothing. Start producing our own products. Find somebody. Everybody's in the field. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, whatever you're doing. Find like-minded blacks like you. Pool your money together and start your own businesses. Promote it toward black people and let's all patronize it. Business is going to start popping up here, popping up there, popping up here, popping up there. Before you know it, blocks and blocks of just black businesses. Get the athletes to come back. Get the celebrities to come back. Invest in these rundown communities. If you look at my music videos, Streets of Baltimore, I show you some of the raggedy, dilapidated blocks that can be knocked down and put up beautiful buildings that can be black owned and black only for cheap. They just laying around, blocks ain't doing nothing. I know if they in Baltimore, I know they in Detroit. I know for sure they in Chicago, Philadelphia, New York, Atlantic County, right next to Atlantic City. There are places that we can go and build. Now, that leads me to my next point. Create a fair split of property and profit to each person by what they contribute. Now listen, I'll say it again. Create a fair split of property and profit to each person by what they contribute. That means if you invest the most money in that project, you should get the most profit. But it should be split according to what each person brings to the table. You gotta listen to this is the key. See, a lot of people saying, one person's gonna get anything. No, by what you put in. And that don't mean money all the time. You might have ideas, your labor, your time. You might be good at spotting properties to go buy. There are different ways to contribute to a business. You should be given by what you put in. This is where black folk get crossed up at. They think they're just gonna walk in there and la-di-da. No. What you put in. If all you can put in is your labor, then you should get paid for your labor. But it should be a split. Meaning, if I'm putting up all the money and nobody else put up any money, then I should get half the profit. If 5 of us put up money, then 5 of us should divide up half the profit. There are engineers and mathematicians that can break that down further than what I just said, but you get the gist of it. Just because you don't have nothing to start with doesn't mean that you're not investing in that business. That's because you can't say, here's $1 million. You can say, hey, I got 50. If we get 3,000 people to put up 50, then whatever that business make, it needs to be broken out by that 3,000. You follow? Meaning that everybody should get something out of it that's manageable, that's livable. Everybody trying to raise a family. So we ain't talking about greed. You know? It's really sad. I know you can hear those white people over top of you. I don't think all white people perfect, okay? That's proof right there. I'm here in the city. I don't live under crazy white folk. Hey, well, it is what it is. And like I said, it's women. So, you got ratchet white women too. But anyway, I digress. God bless them. They're my neighbors upstairs. They don't bother me. They've never done anything. I can't say nothing about them. So, excuse me for that. Let's get back to it. Sorry for that distraction. This is serious business here. Every black should get a split of all profits. Meaning, nobody gonna hog all the profit. No dictatorship here. We trying to make it all inclusive so that everybody can feel a bond. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody can feel a bond about what's going on in that situation. Now, sorry for the distraction. People say it's really getting on my nerves, but I'm trying to keep it real here. Now, like I just said, you need to treat everybody the same. Meaning that if you put the most money in, don't be sashaying around like, yeah, man. Please don't do that. Because that's going to start infighting. And the last thing we need is for y'all get a successful business start, and then one person start getting all high up in the head, yeah, I'm the man, I'm this, I'm that, you know, ha, 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 and then everybody else break out. No, you need to stop that. And to stop that, everybody breaking out, every person who invests, whether it be their time, their labor, their ideas, their money, whatever, should get a percentage, a stock percentage of said businesses. If you're there 5 years, you should get a stock percentage of that business if it go in the market. Now, why do you say that? In order for a business to be successful, everything needs to run in sync. You got to have the people at the top running, the people at the bottom, because without the bottom, there ain't no top. So you want everybody to know, I'm invested in this. My family's going to be invested in this. When my children get out of school, they can come work this. When their children get out of school, they can come work this. I got stock in this company. This is my company. It's our company. It's my company. We're going to make it work. Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that? I'm asking you. Who out there is telling you that? Nobody. All I hear is, oh, you need to make a business. We need more black businesses. Ain't nobody telling you how. I fill a gap saying, why should you listen to me? What education I got? I only did 2 months of Bible college. This is coming from upstairs. How can I talk like this? How can a man with a GED talk like this? Know the ins and outs. Human nature. Let's get back to it. I already said it. Don't just buy businesses. Don't just create businesses to sell. Manufacture. We need to manufacture every product that's out there. Everything from lip gloss to toothpaste to mouthwash. We need to manufacture everything. Have it come from a black company. And we need to buy exclusively from that company. We need to buy all black products. There should not be nothing white in our house. If we're good enough, we can get our own cell phone company. It shouldn't even be a white cell phone in your house. We need to get our own YouTube. Black-owned YouTube. We need to get a black-owned station. A real station. And start putting on good quality TV shows that show black people other than shaking their butts and smoking weed and say, hey, bro, hey, my brother. Now, we need to get this done. And we need to watch those shows. Listen to those black radio stations. Get them numbers up. We got the money. It's just spread out. The money is in the community. But it's spread out, the community. The people that got it have gone. They out there with the white folk. They have left us. We got to draw them back in. That's why I'm giving you these steps, and that's why I'm giving you these ideas of how to bring them back in. How to lure the money back so we can start building stuff. Men are builders, but we've been cut down. We've been made to think in our mind that we can't do anything. That it's a dream. That only white folk can do this stuff. We can do it. We got black mathematicians. We're not retarded. And I say it again, the average ratchet black man, if he's taken out and put around a different scenario, he flourishes. The women, not so much. But the men, they flourish. Men are supposed to run everything. So let's get our place. Let's get our respect back. Let's take our cities back block by block. We can do it. All right, let's get to the next thing. We need to build our own water system. Look at what's going on in Detroit.
Yes, the Lang is arriving.
The water's bad, and white man don't give a fuck. And black folk ain't doing shit about but cry. We need to build our own system. We ain't got to depend on the man. Make sense? Get our own, I don't know what y'all call it in y'all city. Here in Baltimore, it's called Baltimore Gas and Electric. Wherever you get your gas and electric from, Connors, whatever, we need our own. We need to build our own. Who understands how that works? You need to match those people with the people that got the money to make it happen. This is how you do business. This is what the man does. Why don't we do it? Take people that have the money and people that have the know-how. Because remember what I said. A lot of times, God ain't going to give you everything. You got the knowledge to build it. You got the money to create it. Then you got to have somebody in construction to actually make it happen. No one person can do it all or will do it all. And if it's only one person doing it, they're not going to give a darn about helping nobody else. They're going to be doing it for themselves. Well, let's keep it real. We need money, know-how, construction. Then you need workers to make the money. That's business. Now in between you got electricians, you got plumbers, but that's basically construction. So why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? Why are we sitting back letting the white man make all the money? Letting the Jewish man make all the money? The Chinese man make all the money? Why we ain't making no money? We need to push these Koreans out of our own neighborhood. We don't want you here, man. Get out. We want black businesses here. And we need to support our black businesses. We need to stop stealing and start trying to get over. Because that's what the women teach the kids. Because they get over. Women go into a store and put something in her purse. And then they're surprised when security tell her to take it out. I ain't did nothing wrong. They will not admit they're wrong. And they're raising their children to do that. And the girls can get away with it. But the men can't. Let a woman go up to a cop and slap him in the face. She gonna get handcuffed and arrested. Let a black man go up there and slap a cop in his face. They're gonna take him behind the building and beat the crap out of him. But these little black boys see their mothers, don't nothing happen to them. They think it's gonna be the same way. And they keep talking back to these cops like they thugs, the way they see their mothers doing, and that's why the fuck they wind up dead. And then you wanna go out there and march. It's your fault that they out there. It's your fault, because you raised them to do that. And everybody act like they scared. When you in the store acting a damn fool, nobody want to say nothing, because they scared, because they know you going to turn on them. All they trying to do is correct you, and you want to turn on them and try to beat their ass. That's why nobody don't say nothing to you black women. Ain't nobody scared of you. We don't want to be bothered with your bullshit. Because you don't know how to stop. You keep coming after people. We try to stay the fuck out your way. We ain't scared of you. We want to stay the fuck out your way. We don't want to be bothered with you. There is no winning. There is no winning. Even if we knock you the fuck out and we going to jail, how is that a win? He would just let you go ahead. I hate the ball because I'm original.
So you asked Liz, how does the women run the community? I just told you. Because the men just don't say nothing. Because they don't want the hassle. They can't win. You can't win the argument. And she'll come back with some simps to come jump you if you do keep pressing her.
But I'll borrow something from Tommy Sotomayor. Y'all just like, let me tell you the truth, they back in the class, just throwing stuff on the wall. Don't nobody say nothing to you, because don't want to be bothered. It's just easier to just clean the mess up off the walls and let you go ahead about your business. That's not fair. That is not fair. Y'all have to understand, fear is not respect. Somebody that respect you will ride with you. Somebody that fear you will ride with you until you turn your back. Till they see you weak, then they will take you out. Learn the difference. That's why no mob family stays. No gang keep the same leaders. Nobody is successful in the drug game. You either have to leave it alone, you get tired of being locked up, or you get killed. One of the three. There's no retirement. There are very few people that actually can make a career and live out peacefully and be with their grandchildren and let it be 80, 90, Very seldom. We need to get that stuff out of our community. We need to get the men on the corners, put them to work. Athletes, come back. Bring your money back to these dilapidated communities. Build them up. Give these kids jobs. Give them something to do other than kill each other. This is what needs to get done. And nobody's saying it. Why am I the only one saying it? I'm dead serious. Why am I the only one saying it? Why was I given the knowledge? Why was I given the drive to do this? Why am I keep being anointed, as they would say? I don't want it, but it keep coming. God won't leave me alone. Won't let me be successful. All the things I tried. Now I want you to do this. Now I want to do this. Well, guess what? I'm here. We need to create our own police force. I'm not saying to take out the white man's police force, but we need our own police force to patrol our communities that we invest in. If we build up a 4, 5, 6, 7 block radius, we need our own police patrolling that. Now, if something happens to where some of the ranchers try to get back in and we don't have enough on the force, then we could call the white man and tell him to come in. But now, we need to take care of our own business. We need our own police force. We need to start making our own courts. We need to get like-minded blacks to go get these city council seats, to be the mayor, delegates, House of Representatives, Senate. We need to put black people that think like us in those spots. Not who the white man want to fund and want us to vote against, but who we want. Tell me I'm lying. Who's telling you that? Who is telling you that? Nobody. Nobody. Republican, Democrat. All blacks want to vote Democrat. Don't you realize that until the 60s, Democrats was mostly the slave owners? They was mostly the Klan. They decided to flip once we got free. They were making money off us. Then they flip. So they make money off us again. You understand that? Do your history. Go back and look. It's all on the internet. Go look. That's the one thing. The white man don't hide nothing. He figured we ain't gonna look. And he right, because most of us don't. We need to put our own people in office. If it's a majority black city, every office should be filled by somebody black. Every office. I don't care if it's a dog catcher. If we still had them. Every office should be black. The sheriff should be black. Okay? One day, a month, all blacks should have a meeting to make sure that the other blacks in that sector are doing what they're supposed to be doing. We need to have a meeting countrywide. See, this plan I got is countrywide. If we can get it going, it's countrywide. And then maybe worldwide. If we can get the Africans, we can get the Jamaicans, when they see us doing well, people are going to look and they're going to say, hey, look at what they doing. I want to do that. That's how you get respect. But one day a month, there should be a meeting, a national meeting, where our elected leaders, who we elect, go over everything and make sure that everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing. So nobody's slacking off, nobody running off to the man. Make sure everything go right. And like I said, there are always going to be coons in the midst. Now, I don't know what y'all consider a coon, but I can tell you what a coon is. A coon is somebody who works under you, near you, around you, see everything you do positive, go report to the white man. The white man tell him to go back, and this is how I want you to fuck it up. That's what a coon is to me. Coons have always been around. They're going to be around. Coons you got to ignore or take out. It's one or the other. You got to ignore them. You can pull them up and tell them, look, I see you doing this again. That's it. Or you got to take them out. That's one of the three. And if you don't believe me, coons go all the way back to Genesis in the Bible. When Moses came back, it was that Pharisee leader that said, don't listen to him. Ain't you a murderer? When Moses told everybody to put the paint on their doors, do that for what? You know, that was that same man. Y'all get a chance to go back and watch the Moses movie. It's just an example. I'm not, telling you to go watch the movie, but I'm just saying this is an example. I want you to go see what I'm talking about, so you know I'm not lying. When every time Moses went to the Pharaoh and told him something, Pharaoh would turn him down and make them work harder. And man, see that? Every time Moses go up there, he make it harder for us. He have a harder life. Why don't you get out of here, Moses? Well, when Pharaoh finally said, give him everything and get him out of here. What? Where we going, Moses? You guys walking out here in the middle of nowhere. Now they marching across the desert. They get to the Red Sea. They look over. They see the chariots coming. Oh, no. See, that's what I'm talking about. Moses brought us out here to be dead. Moses parted the water. They cross the Red Sea. They get on the other side. All is well. A couple days later, they walking. We out here walking in the damn hot sun. Why Moses brought us out here to die. Why y'all should listen to me. I was in charge before Moses. Then God just start sending snakes and shit to pick people off. It's in the Bible. They start picking them off. Every time somebody moan and groan, and then Moses would have to, cry to God and ask him to stop. There's always going to be coons among us. But even so, when Moses went up on the mountain, and he was gone for 40 days, that coon got the iron. And he said, see, Moses brought us out here to die. If we make idols, and we show that we really be worshiping the Egyptians, maybe that God will come rescue us. Now, they had food. They had all that gold and stuff. But they still couldn't be satisfied. And I'm going to be honest with you. I blame God for that. Because why would God leave people that he put out there in the middle of nowhere alone for 40 days without their leader? That's bull.
There is a reason. God didn't want them to go. That's why he let them die off. Made them wander around for 40 years till they all died off. He didn't want them coons to go. He wanted to start with a fresh generation. He knew them old people still, their heart still belonged to the Egyptians. He knew in their heart they still loved that Pharaoh slave master. And that's why he wanted to start fresh.
Keeping it real. Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. Why was that one tree, why was it in the garden? Why would you sentence your children to death? Why would you put that there? There was no reason for God to put that there. There was no reason at all. So don't tell me that God is just this perfect person. No, he ain't.
Yes, he is. And I've told y'all the reason why he did it. It was revealed to me, and I revealed it to y'all. So let's get back to the topic. The topic is tithings. The driver asks, and I've been waiting for him to show up. And I guess he's not going to show up to his own show. So let's get to it. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like what I said. But that's part of the problem. Until you can be truthful with yourself in the situation, we always going to be in the same spot. Let me check the chat, and then we'll continue on with the show. We'll get on to the tithe. Let me see here. I'm looking over the chat, and I see the different reactions I'm looking at, and I notice this is what the problem is. Because the first thing somebody is going to say, not all. I noticed somebody said BET. BET is not black owned. It was sold. But I haven't seen anybody name a company that actually makes something. You notice some stores have two parts. One part where they make something, and then they got the front where they actually sell it. Most black people businesses that I see is just a store where we sell somebody else's stuff. So that means somebody else is making those goods. We're not making them. And I'm asking the question, why are we not making them? And I don't see no answers in this chat of why we're not making them. I think I made some very good points. How to find like-minded people. How to put your talents together. How to create a business. How everybody should own a part of the business so that, but I see a bunch of denial. Oprah is one person. It's 15 million black people in this country, and you only name Oprah Winfrey. But does her network create anything? Doesn't she just show stuff? And we have a hurricane or a flood right now. We have to depend on other people to sustain us because we don't make anything. I say it again. If we were to get attacked and they was to drop bombs and they bombed all of our ports and there was no way for the boats to come in and no way for us to get the goods, whatever's here already, once everybody buy it up, we butt out because we don't make nothing. Gonna be paying $50 for a roll of toilet paper. Gonna be paying $100 for a roll of toothpaste. Because we don't make it. Is what I'm saying not making any sense? Naya said she's stating the fact that she owned her own network. I ask you again, If we get bombed and everything get blown up, what you gonna watch that network on? What is she gonna broadcast on? Because we can't make a camera. Or we can't make a satellite. If we get attacked and all that get blown up, we can't reproduce anything. We'll just be like children. Please help us because we can't do nothing. Somebody Jordan don't own his sneaker business. Nike own the business. Jordan get his cut of the money. Oh, Naya says she does not own it. Liz says, can anyone do what? I've said this before. If you work at a company, let's say you work at a company and you mow lawns. If you can get 5 good workers that are excellent, that are making this company all that money, if 5 of them get together and say, you know what? We know the people because we go to them. Why don't we print up our own cards and tell the people to call us instead of calling the company? And when we get enough people, we'll give those people back to the company and we'll do our own. But that's still only solving part of the problem. So now you got a lawn company, but who make the lawnmowers? When the lawnmowers get broke, who fix them? What about the fertilizer? Who makes the fertilizer? You still got other people making money off of you. Your money is going right back out the community and not staying in it. Why can't there be a local person that can work on the lawnmowers? Why can't there be a local person that can provide the fertilizer? Why can't there be a local person that make the hoses for the hedges and the clippers for the hedges? Do you see what I'm saying? I'm asking, why are we not doing that? Take out the emotion and just ask yourself, why are we just consumers? And even the few that do have businesses, they are consumers because they're not making the products that they sell, and nobody that looks like them is making the products that they sell. So you can't say, I'm going to go and get it black owned, because even if the person that's selling it to you is black, they didn't make the product. It's still going to say made in China on it. It's still going to say made in Malaysia. It's still going to say made in Mexico. It's still going to say made in Canada. It's not going to say made in Black America. And I'm asking the question. Instead of going out here and buying all these fancy cars and all this stupid stuff, why can't we invest in that? And ain't nobody gave me anything to contradict what I said. I know y'all want to get off of it because y'all ain't got no answer. I know. So let's get to it. Tithing. Wait a minute. I'm going to do that in a second. Give me this one first. Give me this one first. Hey, what happened? What happened? All right. Tithing in the Bible. Is tithing for the New Testament believer? A few weeks ago, I wrote an article called Why It's Important to Keep Tithing in Tough Economic Times. And quite frankly, I was surprised by the many follow-up comments from Christians who don't believe that tithing is for today. Many expressed the belief that tithing was only done in the Old Testament and thus it shouldn't be part of a believer's life. Their comments made me wonder whether tithing is restricted to the Old Testament or not. Is the practice of tithing such a bad thing for today's believer? Let's dive in and look at what the Bible has to say about tithing and, more importantly, our heart. What is the tithe? The word tithes comes from an Old English root meaning 1/10. It is the common English translation for the Old Testament Hebrew asar word group. The tithe was an offering of one's agricultural income to the Lord as an expression of thanks and dedication. In the Old Testament agricultural economy, tithes were paid not in cash, gold, or goods, but in crops or livestock, for only the agricultural fruit of the promised land was to be tithed, not other forms of income. Although today we commonly think of the tithe as 10% as a result, apparently there are tithes in the Old Testament, 2 every year and a third every third year, or an average of 23.3% of one's annual produce from the land. There was also provision of free will offerings and personal giving above and beyond the tithe, so that the tithe never stood alone. Tithes were given by the patriarchs Abraham and Jacob. A system of tithes was instituted in the law of God given through Moses. And the prophets rebuked the children of Israel for failing to give tithe to God. The idea of tithe is still present in the New Testament, Matthew 23:23, but it is never especially applied to believers. Instead, almost all Christians are called to more extravagant free will giving in response to the gospel of the Lord Jesus, based on faith in God as provider. First, let's look at the definition and purpose of the tithe. The main principle behind tithing and giving is the fact that we do with our money shows where our heart is. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. We were able to give 10% or more of our income instead of keeping that money for ourselves. It shows that our heart isn't tied to our money and that we love God more than our money. The Bible mentioned over 800 times, and all of Jesus' parables, more than half of them talked about money. Why? Because that is where so many people get tripped up. When we are able to release at least 10% of our income back to God, our money doesn't have as tight of a hold on us because we realize that God is in control of our finances. We remember that everything we have has been given to us by Him. Even though most of us probably work for the money we make each month, even God has His hand there. He has given us the ability to do our jobs. Many who grasp what God has truly given them seem to agree that 10% doesn't even feel like enough. Is tithing mandatory? Many readers who responded took issue with this idea of tithing being mandatory or required. as if it's something that keeps believers in bondage. But do God's standards really keep us in bondage? Just like God tells us to keep sex within marriage, to love one another, and to seek first his kingdom. Tithing is a blessing to our lives and something that will help better our lives as well as help the lives of others. We are not saved by works. Thus, failing to tithe will not necessarily send you to hell, but doing so will help improve your life and strengthen your relationship with God. I personally don't believe that God will curse us if we don't tithe, but I do believe he will help us escape the curse that is already in the world if we do. I also understand that there may be some church leaders who try to guilt and coerce people into giving, but study shows there are plenty of church leaders honoring God in this area. The majority of them want to share God's best with the people they love and have been taxed to lead. Old Testament versus New Testament tithing practices. Whether the tithe is only for Old Testament or if it is also included in the New Testament is probably the most debated issue. The scripture most frequently referenced regarding the tithe is indeed in the Old Testament, but the tithe isn't referenced in the New Testament. In Matthew, Jesus talks to the Pharisees, condemning them for tithing to the penny but neglecting the more important issues of justice, mercy, and faith. He then goes on to tell them that they should in fact tithe, but that they shouldn't neglect the more important things. Jesus recognizes the importance of keeping the tithe, and we should too. There are many practices in the Old Testament that don't make sense to us today, yet many of these ancient ways carry over to the New Testament law of grace as part of Christ's promise not to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. For instance, we no longer sacrifice animals, but as believers, we are called to offer ourselves up as a living sacrifice. Men no longer are required to be circumcised, but we all have a circumcision of the heart through the Holy Spirit. Most of us don't have grain and produce to bring to the storehouses, but we do have incomes that can bring the first 1/10 into the church. In other words, just because something is written in the Old Testament doesn't mean it lacks application to us today in some way or another. OneCrosswalk.com member Zoe Forever left a comment on my previous article regarding this principle that I found insightful. When I think of Christians asking themselves whether tithing is commanded in the Bible, is an Old Testament or New Testament teaching, I wonder how many of these Christians send back the many scriptural blessings God has given his people in the Old Testament. How many people, when they are blessed and given hope through the mention of God's works, words, etc., through the Old Testament scriptures say, I don't receive this or that blessing or confirmation because it's in the Old Testament. While it's true that we are no longer under the old law, that we are under grace, we must not forget the purpose of grace, to help us live for God and do the things he wants us to do. Romans tells us that Jesus came that the righteous requirement of the law might be fully met in us, not so we could altogether dismiss it. And Romans talks about how we have righteousness through faith and not through following the law. But verse 31 adds, do we then nullify the law by this faith? Not at all. Rather, we uphold the law. God's grace gives us the power and ability to tithe. Tithing and the number 10. Most of us are aware that as Christians we are to give, but many people get hung up on the 10% part of the time. The fact is that God knows that we cannot all give an equal amount because we all have different resources. So he gave a percentage ensuring it will equal out. Jesus sat down the opposite place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came in and put in 2 very small copper coins, only worth a fraction of a penny. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put in more into the treasury than all the others. They gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on. Jesus understood that even though this widow gave a small amount compared to the others, her heart was more given because she gave a larger percentage of what she had than all the others. This verse is also interesting because this widow gave all she had to live on. There are many people today who say they can't afford to tithe, but this woman realized she couldn't afford not to. God knows we're naturally inclined to be selfish and will want to keep our money. So while yes, we should give cheerfully, sometimes we need to take the step and actually give regardless of our internal feelings. The act of giving allows God to change our heart so that ultimately we end up doing so cheerfully. Many of us, if we let our natural minds decide how much to give, would likely opt for a lot less than 10%. Having a standard keeps us accountable. All right, let me check the chat. Let me get up with the chat. Liz says, I do not agree with what you are saying. Well, what did you not agree with? Liz said, I hope BD doesn't feel like I'm being disrespectful, but I did not agree with the video. I don't feel no disrespect, but I want you to say why you disagree with the video. Tell me what I said in that video that wasn't correct. The video is not controversial. The video is something that everybody need to hear so they can wake up. But if somebody would like to debate what I said, I would love to hear it. As the word came out, I tried to deliver it as clear as I could. Y'all heard me say many a time. Now, I don't say it like I said it back then, because I didn't have an audience then. But y'all have heard me say we don't make nothing. You know, somebody made the comment, stop buying off of eBay. But the sellers on eBay don't make the products neither. Them products are made somewhere else. They buy them and then they sell them to you for a profit. Now that's a business, but that's not creating. I just asked the question, why don't we create? I asked you the other day, why is it that we gotta have a Jewish doctor? Why we gotta have a Jewish lawyer? Why can't we have a black lawyer? There are black lawyers, but the majority of people still believe they gotta have a white or Jewish lawyer. That black lawyer ain't gonna get nowhere. I ain't gonna win. No black lawyer. The judge ain't gonna respect them. Jury ain't gonna respect them like they would respect somebody of a different race. We need to change these thought processes that says that we have to go to somebody else to get things done. If my toilet stopped up, why can't I go to a black plumber? Why you calling a black plumber? You better call the white plumber. What are you doing? That man gonna mess your plumbing up. I'm not telling you what I haven't heard myself. No, you better call Roto-Rooter. Let one of them white guys, just don't look at them because the pants hang off their butt. And you don't want to look at the butt crack, but they get the job done. I'm telling you what I truthfully heard. I can't nobody. Nah, you know what the puzzling thing is about them videos? The first two got 34 or less views. The last one got 60. There's not one thumbs down. So that means the people didn't disagree with what I said. They just didn't want to deal with it. And that's why I keep feeling the urge to keep pushing it. It makes people uncomfortable. I don't want to lie to you and say, everything's good, lee. I was looking at y'all comments on the phone. And there's a whole bunch of denial in them. Why is our inclination to deny the truth instead of facing it? It would have been nice for somebody to say, you know, I got something to add to that. I know how we can get people to get started on what you were saying. What you said makes sense, but I know how we can do it better. You know? But it goes to show you, stuck in between them three videos was the video that I made, The Truth, Freeman, and Sunshine. That video got 1,700 something views on it. But those three positive, back building videos have 120 combined. That's the problem. We'll listen to the bullcrap. But when somebody hit us in the face with the truth, we want to turn it off. We don't want to hear it. The video I made, F black people, should have got thousands of views. It only got 108. And I did two versions. I did one version live on Facebook. Somebody in the neighborhood where I used to work actually came on there and said, "You always talking that stuff, man. There you fairly doing it, huh?" An older guy. Shout out to you, Petey. Yeah, that's his name. He actually called it. But see, we need the people to put the fear in and just understand this is part of the problem. We got a lot of problems. And we can keep trying to cover it up, but it get worse. The way we going now, on the 1st and 3rd of every month, we're going to have armed police officers or armed security guards standing at the ATMs. We're going to have armed police guards walk the elderly as they go cash their Social Security check, because they're going to get beat in the back of their head and the young folk going to take it. This is the road that we heading now. People scared to come out the house. You know? Naya says, as we spoke about before, why certain things were not created for us, answers are fleeting. What do you mean why certain things are not? Why are we not creating? I laid down some good guidelines. Why can't we pick one religion and stick to it? So all our children will have a God to fear. So that our young women know what's expected of them. And them getting pregnant and laying up in the projects, popping out babies, is not what their God intended for them. Why can't we have one religion so we can teach our young men to stop trying to poke everything that let them, but teach them to strive in their academics? To get the job, the house, the income, then look for a wife. Instead of trying to poke everything they can on Friday and Saturday night. Why is that not something that people won't get behind? Now, like I said, there was once a Black Pages published similar to the Yellow Pages. I'm not certain of the current status. I'm not misreading the comments. I'm just you know me, I hit the points, and I hit them hard. If we can get the women and men to take pride in themselves and be God-fearing, they won't do the dumb stuff they doing. How do we make the women hold out until marriage? How do we make them not ashamed of their hair? How do we make them feel their value, the honor? How do we get back to that? These are the things that I was talking about. And see, now I understand why that man got to do his song and dance. I understand why he got to try to be a comedian. Because when you bring these facts, people don't want to face it. They want to run. You know, they want to run. But if you put some jokes in there, and you know, act stupid, and don't hold them accountable, then they'll stay. That's not my style. My style is to hit you hard and fast. Just like somebody asked, does the women run the black community? I could have answered you in the chat, but I knew I was going to answer that question was going to be answered in the video, and it was. The majority of the time, the men don't say nothing because they're going to lose. They're not going to win. They're going to be made to look weak. So they just don't say anything. And as I told you, when you see something going on and you don't say nothing, you're just as guilty as the perpetrator. Because you coerce it. You let it happen. You condone it. That means you are a part. You in line with the perpetrator. So if you stand in line and you see a black woman acting a daggone fool, and you don't say, hey sister, calm down. Sister, ain't that serious? You're making a fool out of yourself. Stop it.
What? You talking to me? You showing me?
Now he getting beat up and he don't want to hit her. Because if he hit her, he a punk. But the next day when you walk outside, yeah, I heard you got beat up by a girl. I heard a girl beat you up in the store. Hey. So they say nothing. Can you blame them? I can. You know? Naya says, we spoke about before why certain things were not created for us. Answers are fleeting. Well, I'm saying, when do we take accountability and say, most people don't think much of the Amish. But I can tell you, I bought that Amish belt. I've had that belt for 6 years. It's been the only belt that has held up. All the other belts, made in China, made in Taiwan, they all fall apart. This was the only belt that I bought, and I got it. I don't know if I got it off of eBay or Amazon, but I know it's Amish made. So the Amish make good belts. They make good furniture. They build good houses. What are we known for? Building or making? I'm listening. Anybody want to answer? What are we known? I want a belt. I'm getting me an Amish belt. I can tell you that right now. I'm getting me an Amish belt. I love to get a Black American belt. Anybody making it? Y'all see me ride that bike moped. It's made in China. I like to ride one that's made with black hands. All the lights you see on there. How come we not making them? Why they all say made in China? Ever hear somebody talk about, I got a beauty salon, I got a barber shop, I got a liquor store? That's the only businesses that I see black people having. Problem with that is, if you own a liquor store, who make the liquor? You buying it from somebody else. So even if you in a black neighborhood and you got a black liquor store, the black people come and buy the liquor from you. You take the money and send it right out the community to the people that make it. It don't stay in the community. Now, if you had somebody that made the liquor on the same block or a block over, that money is still in the community. If the person that make the liquor, the ingredients that go in the liquor, if there was somebody another block away that made that money stay in the community. Somebody got to make the bottles. And it's not us, but if it was, then you would have to buy the bottle. There'd be more money in the community floating around. But because we earn the money from outside the community, and then even if we do spend it in the community, the dollars go right back out the community. Y'all see what I'm saying? No, man, I ain't been watching that stuff. But this is a good example. We talking about something that we all need to get on. But the people are more concerned about what's going on with True Freeman and Super Slimmy. Thank you, Chicago Hustle Zone. This is what everybody probably talking about. If what he said is true, I guarantee you Victor Moan on, I guarantee you Zone on, I guarantee you, all these people on talking about what happened between Super Slimmy and True Freeman. But won't nobody be talking about what we talked about today. Won't nobody make a video about what we talked about today. But give it a week or so. Because one of the 8 people that's watching, somebody's going to report back to old sissy man. And he's going to all of a sudden be talking about this. But I don't know. When he see the reaction that I got, you think he going to risk talking about it in front of all them people? This topic might be safe. The phone says we got 9 thumbs up and 6 thumbs down. So did the thumbs up come from us talking about Tommy Sotomayor copying us again? Or did the thumbs up come from the 2 videos that I played from January the 5th, 2018? All right. According to the phone, we got 9 up and 6 down. Judgy say, I don't know, I just got here. Well, you missed please go back and watch, because I replayed 2 of the videos that I made in January of 2018. And it's really disheartening that I had a video and I couldn't put it, I made a channel for it so it can get flagged down, and I didn't have another phone to verify it. So I couldn't make it partner verified, which meant I was unable to put it up because it was longer than 15 minutes. And I stuck it in between those videos. And that video got 1,700 me talking about people for the first time. But the other videos, one was 30, one was 34, and the third one was 60. And I believe the third one was 60 because after people watched the True Freeman video, some people actually clicked that video and then probably stopped watching it. I think that's the only reason why I had 60. Now he says she's showing 7 on each side. I got 9 and 6 showing on the phone. There ain't no way to see you on the dashboard. You said a lot of people don't know this about Tyra. He's good at getting information. He does it very well. All right, I want to know. Keep it clean. We on a big channel. Keep it clean. But what did True Freeman do to Slim Jim? Keep it clean. I'm waiting for somebody to say what happened, but just keep it clean. Jim's baby mama sent True Freeman a recording. Of him begging her not to talk to Tyra. Liz, are you still here? Naya and Liz, do you see how frustrating it is? That with the information and knowledge that I put out in them 2 videos, people are more worried about Slim Jim baby mama sending True Freeman a recording of him begging the baby mama not to talk to True Freeman. Like, who cares? But they care. Can't get them to focus on the real issues. Mm-mm-mm. And look at them, they're having a time too. I thought they were gonna say he actually caught him driving by and gave him a flat tire or something. He said, that super dummy been going at him for a minute now. Finally, Tyra got him. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me take these sodas out the freezer. I know they froze. I keep popping them in. Yep, they frozen solid. Yeah. It's kind of it ain't cold, but man, I keep doing it. Jesse says, Derrick, you misunderstand. We do not want these people to hurt each other. We want them to leave that dumb stuff alone. Then stop watching them. And see how fast they leave it alone. Stop watching them. We had some great topics on tonight. How to really improve the black community. How to get us to pick a name for our race. How to get us to take our place back in the home. How to pick one religion so that we can get everybody on one page. How to clean up our neighborhoods. Why we don't create things and how we can start. This is what we talked about on tonight's show. And it's only 7 people here. Nobody wants to talk about that. But if we did a show complaining, oh, the white man not funding us, we need more money so that we can do these things, and it'd be 20 people, 30, 40, 50 people here in the room. Denver says Tyra gets between 1,000 and 2,000 per video. People love that drama. I understand, Denver. All right. Denver says, as for him, he's in the Science and History channel. When I come to this sector, this is what out for public consumption. This is what's out. So since you in the Science and History channel section, can you explain to us how come black people don't manufacture anything? What do the people in the science sector say? What's their excuse for why we don't build nothing? Why we don't create nothing? Why we don't own nothing that creates anything? Come on, Jesse, I'm waiting. Explain to us, since you over there in the science section, what's their excuse as to why black people don't make their own products, don't make anything? All we do is buy and sell other people's stuff. Somebody explain that. You say you in the science sector. What do the science gurus over there say? What do the intellectuals? What's their reason as to behind why we don't manufacture anything? He said we were taught to be workers instead of owners. But we went back and we looked at Rosewood. We looked at Black Wall Street. Back before Martin Luther King and during Martin Luther King, we had our own businesses. What happened? When did we stop creating and started buying? Ooh, we can go to the big mall now. Well, I ain't going down to the local store. I can go to the mall now. Well, I know you was contracting for me, but now I got white contractors doing it. Sorry, bruh. Well, I know I used to buy my car from you there, Mr. Jones, but now I'm going to the big dealership. We went from creating and buying from one another to taking our money and giving it someplace else. And the money never come back to the community. And even before, even if you have a few black businesses in a black community, when you give them the money for the stuff they sell, that money don't stay in the community. That money goes out to buy more supplies for you to come back and buy. So the money don't stay in the community. You earn it, you spend it, it don't go around in a cycle. It goes right out the door. This is why the cities are dilapidating. Why we got so many abandoned businesses and homes. Because the people don't want to go to the local business. They want to be seen. I got to be at the mall. I got to be at Walmart. I got to have my Nordstrom bag. I got to have my Macy's bag. Somebody gets some money. What the first thing they do? Move. So they move. They taking that money with them. The neighborhood that they grew up in, they leave it. What does the trade deal have to do with the fact that we don't make anything? This is a bag of Utz potato chips. It's made right here in Maryland. How come we don't have a potato chip company? I live in a state that was known for making tobacco. So our land is farmable. How come somebody black can't grow some potatoes? How come somebody black can't make the seasonings? Chesapeake Bay seasoning right here. How come somebody black can't make the package? How come somebody black can't make the chip? That's all I'm asking. Doesn't play, listen and follow. I'm listening. If other countries produce the goods that we consume, some Americans have a job. I'm saying to you, if we buy from each other, what China do got to do anything? If we making our own goods and we buying from each other, why does it matter what the other people doing? That's what I'm saying. But why aren't we producing anything, Denver? You're saying the same thing that I just said. I asked you why. Why don't we create the products and why don't we support them? You just said the same thing I said. If we were to make right mindset, I wouldn't mind paying $1 more for something that's made and will benefit my people than it benefiting somebody on the other side of the world. So why aren't we putting that out there in the atmosphere? I just asked you and actually told you how that even the few black businesses that we have, these businesses sell other people's stuff. Why are we not creating the stuff? And then the businesses should be buying the stuff from black people that make it and then selling it. And then somebody black buy it. The money stays in the community. I'm asking you, why are we not doing it? You just said this. You said the problem. I understand the problem, but why are we not doing it? No, it ain't. We ain't never had more wealthy black folks in the history than we have right now. But where are they? And where's their money? And where is it going? Floyd Mayweather made $30 million on that fight with Conor McGregor. I heard that he owned a record company. Record company needs studio equipment. Does Floyd own a company to make studio equipment? Does Floyd own a company to make microphones? Does Floyd own a company to make the CDs? Does he own a company to make the records? Does he own a company to make the chairs that they sit in before they get up and start singing on the microphone? Does he make the booze? Is there anybody making them? Anybody doing anything? Stop telling me about people do stuff, but they ain't doing nothing. They got the money, but they content to just buy from other people and make them richer. Why? I haven't got around to it. But if I get the Streamlabs and I start selling mugs and t-shirts, I'll make money doing it. It won't be much. You know why? Because somebody got to make the mug. Somebody got to put the design on the mug. Somebody got to ship the mug. Somebody got to deliver the mug to your house. I'm the last person to get paid. I'm making other people money. I'm making a little bit, but I'm making everybody else money. How come I can't have somebody black make the mug or the t-shirt? I ain't got to the t-shirt yet. Somebody got to get the cotton. They got to buy the ink for the design. Got to pay somebody to pack it up and ship it. And y'all might pay $15 for the t-shirt. I might get $2. I take the $2 and go walk to the nearest store, and it's Korean owned. I buy something with the $2. When the Koreans leave that night, they take the $2 out the neighborhood. So my $2 didn't do the neighborhood any good. And the $15 you spent on a t-shirt didn't do the community any good. But I'm still making somebody else $2. I'm still making somebody else $2. How come I can't make somebody in my community $2? Why I gotta make somebody in China $2? Is what I'm asking you. You keep dancing around it. Why are we not supplying the goods? Even if you say, okay, that's too risky, how come nobody black making toothpaste? Nobody black making toothbrushes? Nobody black making bush combs? Nobody black making Jericho juice activators? You understand what I'm saying to you? Yes, but Why do I gotta pay somebody over in China? Is what I'm asking. Why can't the money stay here? Why does it have to go out the country? How come all these celebrities that got all this money now, why can't they come back and set up stores? And not stores where you selling Gucci and Alvarado and all that other stuff. Why don't we have our own designers? And why can't somebody black make the clothes that the black designer designs? And then why can't somebody sell it for the designer? Why is it that we at that last stage? This is what I'm asking. How do we get from the beginning to the end so that we can have jobs and opportunities and our kids can respect us? Why can't we do that? So that when they get out of school, they got a job to come to. They ain't got to go beg nobody for a daggone job. These are the things I'm asking. It don't matter if it's cheaper. If we trying to build something, we'll eat it. You ain't got no problem when they going on the damn Rodale Drive. They ain't got no problem going into Nordstrom. They ain't got no problem going into these high-price stores and buying something, but they can't buy something from somebody that look like you and let that money stay in the community a little bit longer instead of you taking it and it going right out the community. Think about it. If we are united, Denver, and we trying to build something for the future, yes, we might have to pay a little more in the beginning, but over time, it's going to come down. I'll give you an example. If I go on eBay, like you see we got the language today, right? We got the third one coming from the third church organization. Right now it's just two. But we got the language, right? On the third, I'm going to take a little bit of my own money. I'm going to order some chains. And instead of having this bulky ribbon, I'm going to have silver chains holding them. Right? Now, if I can get it on Amazon, if Amazon can let me get 3 of them for $5, right? And we're going to need 3 for all 3, right? I can go on eBay and get 3 of them for $1. To save $4, I'll send that money off to another country. But if I spend $4 more, I'll get it in 2 days, and at least somebody in America get the money. Why wouldn't I spend that $4 extra? Now, if I didn't have it, I understand. So, I got news for you. All 3 of them places you named, that money don't stay in the community. I already covered the liquor store. If you own a liquor store, you got to buy the liquor. So somebody getting paid. The person that supply you with the liquor, right? Somebody had to make the bottles. They go in. Somebody had to design them. Somebody had the ingredients for the liquor. So you got 4 people getting paid before that liquor store get paid, right? When you buy that bottle from that liquor store, that man takes that money and goes and buys more liquor. So that money go right back out the community. So where does it stay in the community at? It goes right back out. So whoever made the bottles, whoever made the ingredients for the liquor, whoever made the designs, they get paid first. Now, if you had somebody on that same block that made the bottles, then that money stand. Yeah, but why aren't we the supplier, sir? All these celebrities that got money, how come we not the supplier? Even the black people that have businesses, how come they not the supplier? Why are they only the front man? Stop giving me the guy with the clock. When we gonna stop being the guy with the clock, and when we gonna start being Chuck D from Public Enemy? When we gonna stop being the front man? When we gonna start being Chuck D or the DJ? Because all we doing is fronting. If I own a beauty salon, you might come and pay for my services. But when you sit down, didn't nobody black make that chair? When they put the smock on you, didn't nobody black make that smock? When they start spraying the stuff in your hair, didn't nobody black make that spray or the bottle that's spraying it? When they start combing your hair or brushing it, didn't nobody black make that brush? When you look in the mirror to see how it look, didn't nobody black? Do you get what I'm saying? As I'm naming all these things that this store needs, they have to go to somebody else to get the supplies. Without the supplies, the black store owner can't do nothing. They are just a consumer. The customer is the consumer, and the business owner is still a consumer. You're still making other people money. Why are we not the supplier? If I know it's a barbershop and it's doing very well, why can't I go and say, look, I'm going to start making blades for you? Will you support a black business so that the money can stay in the community? Hey, lady, I see you got all these blow dryers in here. We repair them and we sell them. Instead of buying from somebody else or renting them, why not let us provide them for you? And then that way, the money can stay in the community. This is what I'm asking, but we're not doing it. And I'm asking why. And don't tell me that it's the government. Don't tell me it's the man. Because they can't tell you what to buy. They can't tell you, well, you better come to Walmart. If I see you go to Black Mart, I'm going to lock you up. Ain't nobody saying that. But even if you take Walmart, Walmart is a front man. They buy stuff in bulk from other people. Why can't we be some of them people? So Walmart can buy in bulk from us. We get them a good deal, black-owned products. Hey Walmart, you still selling them bikes? Well, guess what? We got a new line of bikes. It's called Black Pride. Guarantee you, all the black people won't buy. Now we making the bikes. Now we need to find somebody. You need to make the chain. You need to make the wheels. You need to make the spokes. You need to make the gears. You need to make the brakes. Now you got 6 businesses off of just selling that one item. You got 6 businesses off of selling that one item. And instead of having to wait for these parts to come over from China, they can be made right next door or down a block or 2 blocks away. But you're right, the current generation is lost, and that's why I'm trying to wake them up. Because we're making more money than any other time in history. And yet, all you see these guys doing, check out the new car, check out the new jewelry, check out the new earring, check out the new phones, check out the new nose ring, check out the earrings. But nobody black has made any of that. So they spending that money and giving it to other people. It's not coming and being circulated through the black community. It's going right out. Because they move out, 1. And 2, if they don't move out, they still spend the money in other communities. There's a Korean store a block and a half from where I am right now. Y'all see me walk to it. Their prices are double, sometimes triple what the market is. But they know that everybody can't get to the market. That's why they sit there. How come somebody black can't come open up a store and have decent prices? And they will put them out of business. But they won't do it. Well, yeah, and I keep saying, why are we not the supplier? I hear what you're saying, Denver, but you're not answering my question. I'm asking, why are we not the supplier? Instead of worrying about getting some rims on a car, instead of worrying about staying at the fanciest hotel, why don't we start our own hotel? Why aren't we making the rims to go on the car? Why aren't we producing anything? Why do we keep buying? I gave you an example. Suppose China or Russia had bombed the United States and they had bombed the ports and the ships couldn't get in or out. And there was no way to get new supplies. It won't matter how much money you got. When there ain't no supplies, your money ain't gonna feed nobody. If I got a family and I'm white and I can make enough to sustain my family and the people in my neighborhood. I'm not interested in letting you buy something. The money ain't no good because you can't buy nothing. We're good at the money. I got money. What am I gonna do with it? My family can't eat money. They can't wipe their butt with money. My wife is home bleeding blood all through the house. I can't sell you the tampons that I made. You on your own, buddy. And we gonna be on our own. Because we don't make nothing. And when we get to the point that there is no supply to buy, we butt out. If we get to the point where there's no place to buy something from, what good is money? Money only as good as somebody to sell you something. And that day gonna come when we gonna have a crisis. And everything gonna be lean. And we don't have nothing to trade with. See, if we could make something, we could trade. Well, look, I got toothpaste and toilet paper. Or I got corn, tomatoes, and lettuce. Or look, I got razors. I got combs. I need to trade. Because the money ain't going to do you no good. What good is money? I can't buy nothing. But with the resources that I have before the bombing, I'm able to produce my products. And now I can trade. I might need some ice. I might need something to drink. You might make the drinks. I might need some liquor. Don't nobody black make no liquor. So at least I can trade for something that I need. Because if it gets to a point where money don't matter, you know, well, in that situation, we ain't worth two flies squished together. Because we ain't going to have nothing. All we can say is, please, Mr. Man, can you help us out? Man, going to say, I got my own family to deal with, man. My own family got to eat. God darn, don't y'all make nothing? See, that's what they're going to realize. Wait a minute, y'all don't make nothing. Right. I need something to trade with. Money ain't no good right now. You gotta give me something to trade with. What do you make? Nothing. So you ain't gonna have nothing to trade that somebody might need. So that's all I'm saying. Instead of worrying about buying Lamborghinis and buying Escalades and worrying about getting $2-3 million houses, why don't they start businesses where we create stuff? You know? Liz said, okay, I've been listening, but I'm seriously going to bed now. All right, Liz, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. So, anybody having any problems with the tithing? God allows you to get up and go to work every day, and He asks you to give 10% of what you earn to the church. Anybody have a problem with that? Anybody have an issue with giving the church 10% of your income? Hello? Anybody have a problem with giving the church 10% of your income? Do you think it's outdated? All right. Have a good night, Liz. I found some scriptures. I ain't looked at them, so I hope they're good. 20 verses about tithing and offerings. Despite the fact that many people use the word tithe synonymously with any church-related giving, the word tithe literally means tenth. The tenth was an obligatory offering from the law of Moses, requiring 10% of an Israelite's first fruits. Because God provided the harvest, the first part was returned to him. It was a reminder to Israel that all things we have are his. It was a show of thankfulness for his provision. It also provided for the Levitical priesthood, festivals, and for the needy. Offerings, on the other hand, are considered gifts given outside of or in addition to a tithe. While tithe and offerings are technically two different practices in generosity, they're often spoken about hand in hand. Let's look at 20 verses on tithing to get ourselves an overview of this significance. Tithing before Moses. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham by God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And Abraham gave him a tenth of everything. Abraham had just returned from defeating the armies of the 4 kings, rescuing his nephew Lot and reclaiming his possessions. And he's met by an enigmatic priest of God Most High named Melchizedek. The priest attributes Abraham's victory to God, possessor of heaven and earth, and he blesses Abraham. In gratitude to God's authority and blessing, Abraham gives Melchizedek a tenth of his possessions. He doesn't do it to invoke God's blessing. He does it in response to God's blessing. The free ebook Start with Generosity has been an excellent source for others hoping to learn more about how God approaches generosity. These real life stories are written by and for people just like you. Hey, look, I'm not going to advertise somebody else's stuff. 2. Jacob offers a tithe. Then Jacob made a vow saying, If God will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, I will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then the Lord shall be my God, and this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be God's house, and all that you give me, I will give a full tenth to you. Jacob responds to a dream he has received from God by building an altar and vowing that in exchange for God's care and provision, he will give God a tenth of his belongings. What Moses said about tithing. Every tithe of the land, whether it's the seed of the land or the fruit of the trees is the Lord's. It is holy to the Lord. If a man wishes to redeem some of his tithe, he shall add a fifth to it. And every tithe of herds and flocks, every tenth of animal of all that pass under the herdsman's staff, shall only be holy to the Lord. One shall not differentiate between good or bad, neither shall he make a substitute for it. If he does substitute for it, then both it and the substitute shall be holy, it shall not be redeemed. Here we see Moses giving the tithe as a law. The first 10% is called holy, or set apart as belonging to God. The Israelites were to return God what was already his, and in doing so recognize the Almighty's provision. If for some reason someone needed to redeem or keep all or portion of the goods he would tithe, he could just give money instead. However, the cash would need to be equal to the tithe's value plus the extra fifth. In other words, Israelites could give 10% in produce or 12% in cash. So, the tithing is 12% because we do cash now. See that when you learn something? It's not 10%, it's 12%. Israelites could give 10% in produce or 12% in cash. When it came to livestock, a shepherd had to set aside every tenth for God. It was decided by simply counting the animals and consecrating every tenth. The shepherd was not to be deciding based on the quality of the animal. Tithe established for the Levites. To the Levites I have given every tithe in Israel for an inheritance in return for their service that they do. Their service is in the tent of meeting. The Levites served a special function in Israel. They ministered before God as Israel priests. At God's command, the Levites didn't share in the other tribes' inheritance. The Lord was their portion and inheritance. Here we see the Lord establishing that the Israel's tithe will operate as payment to the Levitical priests for their services. Moreover, you shall speak and say to the Levites, when you take from the people of Israel that the tithe that I have given you is from your inheritance, then you shall present a contribution from it to the Lord, a tithe of the tithe. From the income the Levites received from the tithe, they were still responsible for giving 10% off the top to God. Offerings and tithes, but you shall seek the places that the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribes to put his name and make his habitation there. There you shall go, and there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and your contributions that you present, your vow offerings, your freewill offerings, and the firstborn of your herd and of your flock. The tithe was not a volitional offering. The 10% off the top belonged to God, and the Israelites simply repaid it. But this was only obligatory at the time. They also tithed to support a special jubilee, and took a third tithe every 3 years to take care of orphans, widows, and the poor. These mandatory offerings averaged out to 23% a year. On top of these compulsory tithes, there were regular opportunity for free will offerings. These were generous gifts that expressed the Israelites' gratefulness through voluntary giving in response to their devotion. At a bare minimum, they gave 23% a year, but there was no ceiling on their generosity. They could and frequently would give exorbitantly out of their excess. In response to Moses' call for contributions to the building of the tabernacle, the Israelites literally gave so much that Moses had commanded them to stop giving. All right. Anybody have any comments so far? I see the chat start moving. Where everybody go? Alrighty, we down to 3 people. Anyone still here?
I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, I don't wanna push you further away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for something together? Babe, I want you. I'll be the one you trust. I got feelings about you. Oh yeah. Butterflies every time I'm with you. Oh yeah. I don't wanna push you further away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, I don't wanna push you further away, no. I don't wanna play no games. I just wanna call, see if we're okay, babe. All I wanna ask you is, are you down for love? Are you up for something together? Babe, I want you. I'll be the one you trust.
I was living in the clouds, yeah. Back to money and explosions. Whatever happened to the picture? The one where you and I were perfect. Like if heaven was a time lapse. Play the story where we'd end up. Would you pause it for a second before this thing's over? Would you come a little closer before this thing is over? Would you come a little closer? Man up till it's gone, 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 it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, man up till 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 it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. When the light fades into darkness and your fears all turn to regrets, then do you stand up without falling? Or do you see it as a blessing? As I'm falling through the water, let the ocean be my witness. I believe that this has changed me. I pray it as I'm sinking. Each time I pray it as I'm sinking. backlash written on me. Card rubbing on my glass bowl, I've been falling. 3 more days in the counter now, I'm already out. Already on the countdown, I'ma set it right. Get the backlash written on me. Cold running from the popo, and it's on me. Don't know which way we're going now, I don't wanna know it. Might as well be going down, I don't wanna know it. I got the backlash written on me. Card rubbing on my glass bowl, I've been falling. 3 more days in the counter now, I'm already out. Already on the countdown, I'ma set it right. Get the backlash written on me. Cold running from the popo, and it's on me. Don't know which way we're going now, I don't wanna know it. Might as well be going down, I don't wanna know it. Yeah, come and get it, pocket ticking for my riches now. Yeah, boy, come commerce in my kitchen now. Yeah, right, Colorado ain't my region now. But now I'm headed out there anyhow. Set it up like I'm heading up for the big amount. Shoot it up like I'm heading up for the pictures now. How many people could do it the way I did it now? I really mean it, I feel like they only one around. Whoa, while I'm at it, I ain't kidding, I won't have it. Try and wait for me to slip, I ain't no baby. I'll be centering the ring, I'm Joey Sackage. And when you see me, I just came out with the hat trick. Oh God, don't be stressing with the magic. Acting nice, cause you ain't never seen no rabbits. All them bunnies, they be helping me imagine. I would tell them that the man has got the backlash written on me. Card rubbing on my glass bowl, I've been falling. 3 more days in the counter now, I'm already out. Already on the countdown, I'ma set it right. Get the backlash written on me. Cold running from the popo, and it's on me. Don't know which way we're going now, I don't wanna know it. Might as well be going down, I don't wanna know it. I got the backlash written on me. Card rubbing on my glass bowl, I've been falling. 3 more days in the counter now, I'm already out. Already on the countdown, I'ma set it right. Get the backlash written on me. Cold running from the popo, and it's on me. Don't know which way we're going now, I don't wanna know it. Might as well be going down, I don't wanna know it. I got the
How do I change the shit, man?
Go dummy, go beast on her. I go beast, go deep, I-O-D on her. Apply pressure, put heat on her.
That's too much.
500 degrees on her. Go dummy, go beast on her. I go beast, go deep, I-O-D on her. Apply pressure, put heat on her. 500 degrees on her. Down, levitate, going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate, on time, never late. I grind, celebrate, no pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day, champagne, Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now stepping up zone. Like straight out the sandlot, now flying on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was stubborn, skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Go dummy, go beast on her. I go beast, go deep, I-O-D on her. Apply pressure, put heat on her. 500 degrees on her. Go dummy, go beast on her. I go beast, go deep, I-O-D on her. Apply pressure, put heat on her. 500 degrees on her. Smell good, skin clear. This here my year. Hey, look up here. This here my tier. Same fit 4 days. I grind 4 ways. I play no games. All me, no blame. On the wave, my own wave. Can't stop my shine. In the lane, my own lane. Can't stop my grind. 40 yard in the V12 and like 1.5. At 19, I cleared 19 in a month, no lie. Oh God. I
That's the cheapest they got.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet. Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. How to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing apart. Things just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm having the low, I'll remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic to at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. How to keep the heat when it gets colder, you know. Sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing apart.
Hey, can somebody put $1 on the Cash App so I can get these necklaces? It's a 3-pack. It's just something so the ribbon just look tacky. I don't mind this part. I don't mind these parts, but the ribbon looks tacky. I got $5.24 on the Cash App, but it's gonna be tax. So can somebody donate $1? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? $1?
Things just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm having the low, I'll remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair lying here in my bed.
She was right.
Never gonna be alone. 'Cause with you, I'm finally coming home. I wanna be with you always. 'Cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be with you always. You are my world in every place. It's the things that you do, and it's the smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place. Without your love, I am out of place. And without you, I am just a trace. I love you with all of my heart. Together forever, never to part. I wanna be with you always. 'Cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be with you always. Always, yeah. You are my